Hello, Bobby Torres of Frightbox recording here to answer the age-old question. Active versus passive pickups for recording metal guitars. Which are better? Now, people obsess over things like guitar pickups, preamps, and I'm here to tell you that the difference that they make are so subtle that it really doesn't matter. Now, a few months ago, I did a video on quad tracking, and I actually had someone comment on the video saying that they heard that using bare knuckle pickups is better for quad tracking than active pickups. And I'm here to tell you that that is definitely not the case. It doesn't matter whether you're using active or passive pickups. Now, as a guitar player myself, before I got into production, I used to obsess over pickups as well. I was constantly swapping out different pickups in my guitars, trying different ones, active ones, passive ones, thinking that they made some massive difference. And yes, different pickups do sound different and do have a different attack and a different vibe and tone altogether, but not enough to make or break your guitar tone. When it comes to recording metal guitars, the top three most important things in reality are the performance, whether or not the guitar has new strings and is properly intonated, and the guitar cab and or impulse response you're using. Now, when it comes to humbuckers versus single coil pickups, that's a massive difference. Yes, you can record some pretty slamming metal with single coils, but it's gonna be much more difficult. Humbuckers do make a difference. The only real difference when it comes to recording metal guitars, whether or not you're using active or passive pickups, is how hot the pickups are and how hard they're driving the amp. So for example, if I'm recording a guitar player that's using passive pickups with a lower output, I might have to add a little more gain or just boost the signal on the way in with a tube screamer or something like that, just to get the attack that I want. And the opposite is true when I'm recording someone using active pickups. Sometimes the active pickups are super hot and super compressed, and I actually have to dial back gain and use way less gain on the tube screamer. And more often than not, you could actually see this visually within your DAW. Whenever I record guitar players that are using like an EMG 81, the DI track within my software is actually flattened out from the guitar itself. The pickups are super hot and very compressed. When I record guitar players using lower output, passive pickups, the DIs are often very dynamic. Now, even though the actual output from these two different types of pickups is pretty drastic, at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter because what really makes a difference, like I said, is the way that the guitar player is playing, whether or not they're using a guitar that's properly intonated with new strings, and the actual cab selection and mic placement and or impulse response. These variables at the source can be adjusted on the actual amp or the tube screamer or drive pedal themselves. Now, me personally, as a guitar player, I prefer passive pickups because I feel like they let a lot of the natural tone of the guitar themselves shine through a little more. In other words, I can actually hear more of a difference between different guitars that utilize passive pickups than active pickups. And I noticed this only because I'm a guitar player. But even with that being said, even though I prefer passive pickups personally, I know from real world experience that when it comes to recording, it does not matter. Believe me, do not obsess about dumb stuff. So all in all, that is my opinion. Active versus passive pickups, it don't matter. Focus on the stuff that matters. Again, the performance, using a guitar that's properly intonated with fresh strings, and using proper mic placement on a good sounding cab and or impulse response. Now, on the topic of impulse responses, you could download my impulse response for absolutely free. There's a link below in this video's description. Download it, load it into your amp sim plugin, and get right to dialing in a killer metal guitar tone with ease. The impulse responses of my favorite Mesa Boogie cabinet out of my studio with V30 speakers can't go wrong. So I'd love to hear your opinion. Do you prefer active pickups? Do you prefer passive pickups? Do you think I'm a complete idiot and that they do make a massive difference when it comes to recording? Let me know by leaving a comment in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your opinion. If you found this video helpful, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And do not forget to click the little bell icon so you can be notified every time I upload one of my weekly videos on all things metal and rock production. You can both like and follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Links are in the description below. And again, be sure to download my custom impulse response for absolutely free. There's a link below in the video's description. Till next time, happy recording.